It's time now for Carter's Corner. Everything Bay Area sports on the Northern California Sports and Entertainment Network. Here is your host, Carter Kim.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Carter's Corner. I am Carter Kim here on Northern Lights Sports and Entertainment with everybody. I love it here, man. Listen, it's like Johnny said. So far, your prediction is coming true. LA won game 3 and the Yankees won game 4. Hey, I'm sticking to this prediction, okay? Listen, my predictions have been horrible thus far. If it's wrong, that's to be expected. But if I'm right about this, will the Yanks make it a 3-3 series? I hope so. That would be so fun. Listen, I need some excitement to go along with this World Series. I can't have another day of, oh no, we have this boring game of baseball where one team ends up winning. Like, we can't have a series of just like 5 games. We need to make it 6 or 7. Come on now. Let's have some fun with this damn thing. There we go. What's up? I'm just having fun with it, okay? I'm not saying the Yankees win in 7. I predicted a Stanley Cup Finals win. I predicted a Stanley Cup Finals win for the Dodgers where they go up 3-0, but then they lose 3 games, but then at home, they finally win Game 7, and then they win the World Series. That's my prediction. That will be how this World Series goes, I think. And if I'm right about this, then I'm not letting it go. I'm just keeping it real. But yeah, we have pitching. We have pitching matchups. We have pitching matchups here today here at Carter's Corner. It will be Jack Flaherty versus Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole has been having an outstanding postseason so far. Has been playing absolutely fantastic baseball. Give the guy a lot of credit. He had a really bad injury to start the year, and he's been riding the ship. He's played well in this postseason. He shut me up. He's played great. Jack Flaherty, he was better, definitely better in the game that he played previously. Only 1 earned run, if I'm not mistaken. Played great. But here we go. It will be Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Hernandez, Muncy, Enrique Hernandez, Tommy Edman, Will Smith, and Gavin Lux. And for the Yankees, it will be Gleyber Torres, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Jazz Chisholm, Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Rizzo, Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells, and Alex Verdugo. That will be the matchups for This will be the lineups for Game 5. Now, for the Lifetime Awards versus each other, I have a feeling Flaherty gets lit up tonight. It's possible. Flaherty's had some bad moments this postseason, but for the most part, he's been pretty consistent. I'd probably bet on him being okay. He was a little shaky last start, but he's probably going to be okay. Let me just share my screen and talk about some matchups via pitchers. Okay. Interesting stat. Shohei Ohtani is 4 for 23 lifetime versus Gerrit Cole. 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and 8 strikeouts with a 174 average. On the other hand, Mookie Betts has a 7 for 20 lifetime career versus Cole. He only has 1 RBI and 1 K, but he's hitting 350, so fair enough. I feel like Freddie Freeman has this stat line versus pretty much everybody in baseball. I don't know why. Freddie Freeman is hitting 348 versus Gerrit Cole with 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and 7 strikeouts. Teoscar Hernandez, though, 6 for 29 with 1 home run, 1 RBI, and 7 Ks. Max Muncy 0 for 5 with 3 Ks. Enrique Hernandez is 9 for 23 with 1 home run and 1 RBI and 4 Ks. And Edman is 1 for 7. Listen, let's just keep it real. The only matchups that matter are Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Hernandez, and the other Hernandez, obviously. Now, what did I say in the first game of this series when we talked about the notions of, oh, yeah, Gerrit Cole is going to face this guy? Actually, wait, hold on. I think I figured it out. Can I zoom in? Yes, I can. Okay. There we go. Wait, does it work? Yes, there we go. Okay. Can Freddie Freeman not hit a home run in a game? Is that possible anymore? I don't think so. I think Freddie Freeman is just so dialed in. I don't think it's possible for him to play badly. But anyway, here we go. So looking at these matchups, Shohei has been not great against him. I think that can change though, because Shohei can basically. Here's the thing about Freddie Freeman. I feel like against every star pitcher in baseball, he has this stat line. Against every star pitcher in baseball, I feel like he destroys them. I just don't know why, but I think Freddie Freeman is just really good against like great pitchers. Teoscar Hernandez didn't do great. Enrique Hernandez, again. But what did I say at the start of this series? The Dodgers have a lot of great Yankee killers like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and guys like obviously Enrique Hernandez. I mean, you got to be careful because this could happen really quick, and you might not be able to change it in time. But let's take a look at another one. So this is everyone on the Yankees' career versus Jack Flaherty. Gleyber Torres is 2 for 6, not that consequential. Soto, on the other hand, is 2 for 11, which is not great for a guy who's as good as Juan Soto is. It's very surprising for him to be this bad versus Jack Flaherty, even though Jack Flaherty's a great pitcher. Aaron Judge is just pathetic at this point. Aaron Judge, again, I'm going to shout it from the rooftops. He is one of the most pathetic. He's so damn pathetic. The worst part is he's not like a Joel Embiid, James Harden type where he's like, oh, I don't really care. It's whatever, He's not a nonchalant guy. He's actually a really good player and a great guy. But watching him play like this is honestly crazy. Like, it's so crazy. But the only guy that seems to have any ownership over Jack Flaherty is a man named Anthony Rizzo, who has been blah. He's been blah. He's been blah. That's how I put this. Sorry, let me just zoom out. All right. But that is the statistics that I would take away. Matchups between pitching and hitting. Yo, what's up? Hey, Mark Adna, welcome to the show. How you doing? Man, these shows seem to be attracting more people since it's the World Series. I mean, it's been crazy. But yeah, Garrett Cole, Jack Flaherty. I mean, Yankees, you got to win. Your back's up against the wall. You're like an animal being hunted by a predator. You're in a corner. You can't flee anymore. You have to fight back. You might be able to keep running, but there's only so much you can do. Oh, yeah, by the way, the San Jose Sharks won 2 games in a row. I can't believe it. That's crazy. Judge, Chisholm, and Wells have only faced Flaherty 2 or 3 times. It's not fair competition. Yeah, exactly. So when I look at matchups between pitchers and batters, the one thing I require to determine how good a batter is against a pitcher or how good a pitcher is versus a batter, I determine that because I have to have a guy who's gone at least 10 times against the other guy or had at least 15 at-bats. 10 to 15 at-bats, and then I can say, okay, like this guy is really good against this guy or this guy's not great against this guy. If you can say that to me, like I can look at that guy and say, okay, he's good. But questionable in a lot of ways. It's, again, this isn't an exact science because there are days when a guy is just due and some stuff can just happen out of nowhere. But I'm a believer that you have to have at least a good amount of at-bats. Like it can't be like just 5 at-bats, 3 at-bats, 6 at-bats, something like that. It has to be a good number of when you look at the numbers for Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Hernandez, the Hernandezes, along with like Rizzo, like they have substantial at-bats versus the pitcher they're going to go face this tonight. And honestly, I know it's not a fair comparison for Judge, but I'm honestly I'm so shocked with how bad Aaron Judge has played this series. I feel like I'm watching like I don't know how to comprehend this. It's cold. I'll close my window. Yeah, I'm just, it's so hilarious. Hilariously bad. Like, I just cannot comprehend the thought that you are playing this badly at a time when you're needed so much. Like, that's the epitome of anti-clutch. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't understand the notion of, oh yeah, we can't do it against this guy because what? Like, Aaron Judge, you need to be better, man. Like, I feel like I'm watching freaking playoff James Harden. He had the 3 strikeout game in his first game. That's crazy to me. The thing is, like, it seems to be with Judge, like, whenever like the numbers are reset and nothing's happening, like, the guy shrinks. All right, good seeing you, Johnny. Have a good time. See you. But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm just like, I can't believe how much of a sieve Aaron Judge is. I mean, I just like, it's so unbelievable to me how a player that has been so good in the regular season just contrasted with like other players, like starts playing like an absolute scrub when it matters most. I mean, opportunity came to you, you play, you're like, it's just so incomprehensible to me how you can play this way. I can't believe, again, like I said this to the Yankees yesterday and the day before that and all the other days, like, dude, you cannot play this way in these moments. It's not okay. It's just not okay. Dodgers wrap it up tonight. I don't think so. I think with Cole on the mound, it's going to be close. I think the Yankees will win and try and extend this thing as much as possible. I don't think they're going to just go down without a fight, in my opinion. It's going to be one of those things. It's a desperation thing. Like, they're cornered. They're trapped right now. They're afraid. And honestly, I think that they can't flee. They can't run away right now. So they have to keep fighting back to get themselves out of this corner. It's up to them to see. I mean, they're on the ropes. They're on the ropes for sure, but I want to see if they can put it up. I think they can definitely give it a shot. But it's like my prediction said. It's going to go to Game 7. It's going to go to Game 7, but the Dodgers are going to win. The Dodgers will take it to Game 7. They're going to lose these next 2 games, but they're going to win it in Game 7. Stanley Cup final, baby. Where does Aaron Judge broke his ribs? Really? If he really did break his ribs, that's like that's obvious. Oh, during the ALCS? I mean, if he did, then that maybe I can excuse a couple things, but still, like, he hasn't been great even before the ALCS. I mean, like, I get it. Injuries are part of the game, but then I ask him though, like, why are you trying to play? Like, because it's clearly shown. It's shown, like, what Aaron Judge has shown me is that he's been an absolute detriment to the team. Like, whenever he plays right now, he's shown that he's a detriment. So I ask, like, why the hell are you playing if you have broken ribs? Because you've been an absolute detriment to the team. And if you're a detriment to the team right now, then you're gonna cost the team. Especially right now when it all is coming down to this. If the Dodgers score first time, I mean, possibly. But then again, we said probably said the same thing last night, but look what the Yankees did. It's certainly possible. I mean, I wouldn't count them out just yet. I'm still believing in my BS prediction. Let's see if it works out. Jealousy, memories, hockey. I mean, yeah. We'll find out, though. I mean, like, what do you got, Yankees? I feel like I'm watching a bunch of pretenders, though. Like, I'm watching the Yankees play, and I feel like I'm watching a bunch of pretenders. It just doesn't feel like, oh, wow. Like, they definitely have a chance. No, they don't. I don't think of them as a team that has a chance. Listen, I think, I don't know this is going to happen, okay? But here's what I think will happen. The Yankees will win these next 2 games. They will force a Game 7, but then the Dodgers will win Game 7 with a lot of intensity, but they will win it. It's like the Stanley Cup Finals a couple months ago. I'm sorry, not a couple months ago, a while ago, like 5 months ago. That's what I think will happen. Because why not, okay? Listen, y'all know my predictions have been absolutely trash the past few months. I might as well have fun with this. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, why not? You poet. Man, I really want to get Yuri Perez, man. That guy would be such a good player to have on the rotation. I mean, it's first year guy. He would be a great add for the rotation. Great bat, great glove, great bat. Sorry, not great bat. What am I talking about? Great arm side command. I mean, like, I want to see this dude work. Is it? No, he's actually got great glove side command. His command glove side is fantastic. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know how anybody can say that the Yankees put their best foot forward, though. And when they lose, if they do lose, which is probably likely, like, you're probably going to look back on this World Series and say to yourself, like, what the hell went wrong? How the heck did y'all not put your best foot forward and give yourselves a chance to win? Because if you had won to get the game a couple days ago, this would be a 2-2 series, and we'd be talking about how intense it is right now instead of something else. God, we got beat by Spurs. God damn it. All right. Hold on. Give me a second. I just got to. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, this has just been such a, like, everyone hyped this World Series up to be something, like, unbelievable, you know? Like, it was something, like, incredibly special, but, like, it wasn't. Like, what the hell was this? Like, if it ends tonight, like a lot of people are predicting, which is certainly possible, we just had a very boring, uneventful World Series. Everyone hyped this up to be a 7-game, 6-game series, intense matchups, you know, tough games that are like this close, come down to save situations. And what do we get? We get a laid egg. Like, this isn't mildly impressive by any metric at all. Like, if you were gonna, like, watch a World Series over again, which World Series would you watch? 2016, 2019, 2017, 2014. I mean, any of, like, the 2013, something like that. Maybe something exciting. I don't know, like, maybe like one of those the Braves Twins World Series. Any of those, like, if you were going to, like, rewatch a World Series or, like, look back at a World Series and say, oh, that was fun, are you going to look at that one? Are you going to look back at this World Series and say, yeah, that was a fun World Series? Because it hasn't been particularly fun, you know? Because even when the Dodgers were only winning by, like, 1 or 2 runs, 3 runs, it didn't feel that exciting. Yes, the first game was definitely exciting with Freddie Freeman walking it off the way he did. But it's like, was it that exciting? Not really. Like, it's just so massively disappointing. Like, I just don't like it when the media does this. Everyone wonders why baseball shouldn't be a parity sport where we have the same teams play against each other at the same time every single year. I get it. I'm a Warriors fan. A lot of people complained about that. But that's a little different than baseball. Because basketball has the potential for comebacks in better games. You know, because the margins aren't as thin, and things are a little different in basketball. But with baseball, it's like, like, I can't believe it, man. Like, everyone in the media, everywhere, hype this World Series up to be generational, incredible, great, all the superlatives that you can imagine. And what do we get? We get a laid egg. Like, yeah, no. Like, who cares, man? Like, I really just, like, come on. Championships are usually not explosive and exciting. Teams tighten up and try not to make mistakes instead of taking risks. That's in sport usually. Look at soccer and a lot of the finals. It's tight. Well, that's not entirely true for recent history, though, I'd say. I mean, like, the problem with, like, championships can be really exciting. It's the potential to be exciting that people look at. I mean, I specifically want to use a very particular example, which is, like, the World Cup in 2023. And speaking of which, we have, sorry, not speaking of that, but we have a guest hanging out in the green room right now. I'm not sure if he's going to come in yet, but pretty sure he's just hanging out. But
no, I'm here.
There he is. Oh my gosh. Hey, Glenn,
hey,
how you doing?
How's your afternoon going over there?
It's going all right, decent time, just trying to get through the day. But yeah,
cheering on your LA Dodgers.
Listen, my predictions have been absolutely disgraceful. Okay. Other than the wild card predictions, they have been absolutely awful. So why not have fun with it? Let's just
it's all about entertainment. It's the entertainment value of the show, man. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Glenn.
I lurk around. I watch most after. I don't get you every day. I'm busy on some days. I'm on the air in the afternoons. I'm on the air in the mornings. You never know when I'm going to be working. So when I can tune in, I was watching you, pretty much for the last week. So good job. And I catch your weekend shows too. So.
Oh, thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that.
Good job.
Yeah.
How's the chat working out tonight?
They're working out. They're doing well. It's bringing some great conversation to the table. Because
hey, who's $7,000? Who's $7,000?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he might be I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we've had a lot of grands on these channels, haven't we?
I remember $7,000. $7,000. Are you new to this channel? Have you been over to Giants Sports Talk Live? Another great channel.
Join it.
Carter makes an appearance there once in a while when Eric lets him in. Eric's yap.
Yeah. But unlike certain individuals, we like to listen to the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like to think so.
What's the feeling heading into tonight's game 5? What are the guys saying?
Oh
my God! It's a big day around Carter's show.
Oh my gosh! I thought I was just gonna have a quiet show, but everybody's here.
What is up?
Yeah. Never a quiet show when Eric and I are lurking around.
Never.
Oh my gosh! It's good to have you all here, though, man.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about my crazy World Series prediction.
Oh.
Okay. So here's the prediction, Eric.
Let's hear it.
The prediction will be the Yankees are going to win these next 2 games. But in the 7th game, the Dodgers will win.
That's not crazy.
No, it's not. I'm doing a Stanley Cup Finals repeat from this year.
I mean, we're going to be talking about it here in another half hour, but I think Yankees take game 6 or game 5. I'm sorry.
I mean, with
game 5, game 6, I don't know, man. When it goes back to LA,
yeah,
Yamamoto is pretty damn tough, and then you're going to have Rodon going again in LA. I don't like it, but I think game 5, I think Yankees could take.
Yeah, Rodon's been shaky. Like, he's been shaky.
Sometimes he's on, and then there's other times he's just not.
Yeah, I mean,
should be a great pitching matchup tonight, guys.
Should be.
I don't know if you were talking about that, Carter, but it looks like a great pitching match. It should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm looking at the batters going up against. I mean, there's one thing I've noticed about the matchups that Cole is facing. The 2 players that have the best hitting against him are both former Red Sox, which is unsurprising because we all know the story.
Because they saw him the most. That's why.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Freddie Freeman just hits like 350 against every star pitcher in baseball. I don't know why, but he's just
Freddie's a good hitter, man. He's good.
Yeah. He is the best. I think he might be the best. Whenever he's on his form, he's the best hitter in baseball. If we're talking purely.
I mean, he's got a career 300 average.
300 here. First
got almost 400 home runs. I mean, the guy's good, man. Yeah. The guy's good.
Hall of Fame, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, absolutely.
There soon enough.
100%.
And both teams are going to go with the same lineups tonight. The Giants, or I should say the Giants. I got all my gear on today. I'm all about
you're
right?
oranged out, man.
Hey, I'm a fan. And it's pumpkin colors. Got to live the Halloween spirit.
Fair enough.
Torres, Soto, Judge, Chisholm, Stanton, Rizzo, Volpe, Wells, Verdugo. I'm still a little wondering about the old Chisholm bat and cleanup.
Hey, Chisholm and cleanup.
Yeah, it worked last night. Yeah, I guess if it ain't broke,
there you go.
Fix it. Right.
And for the Dodgers, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Hernandez, Muncy, Hernandez, Kike, Edman, Smith, Lux. So I don't think either lineup, correct me if I'm wrong, has changed, has it, Carter, Eric?
I think Dodgers did. Edman is not biting.
Oh yeah, Edman was. They moved Smith and Lux down.
Yeah,
they moved Smith and Lux got moved down. They're trying to,
which makes sense. It kind of makes sense.
Edman's been swinging a good bat. But
yeah, exactly.
I like seeing him bat and get on base late in the lineup for Ohtani and Betts.
Yeah, he'll get on base. He'll get you a couple bags, steal bags. He'll be that's OBP. I mean, he's gonna give you an opportunity to get knocking a run.
Smith and Lux bat in 8-9, so they're kind of putting the weaknesses. Not that there are many.
They're trying to keep it on the back. Just keep all anything bad in the back, which is different from what Boone is doing, which I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm watching Aaron Judge, and I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, it doesn't make any sense. A guy like this should be able to be great in the postseason.
Yeah, he looked better last night. That's why I'm feeling better. He had a lot better at bats. Drew a walk. He got I think he got one hit, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he knocked in a run too.
And I don't think he struck out, which is huge because that's what he's been doing this whole time in the World Series.
Strikeouts, man. Like,
hey, if this is the time to turn it around, this is the time to do it.
Yeah. You guys think this is going 7, huh?
I don't think it goes 7. I think Yankees win today, but Game 6 in LA, I think they might wind up winning it there.
I'm gonna go with Game 7 for a crazy prediction.
I hope it goes Game 7. Yeah, look. I want the Yankees to win, so I want to see a Game 7. Do I think it's going to get there? They're going to have some heroics by Carlos Rodon, man.
Yeah, I'm doing the crazy prediction because, again, I've said this to Glenn, like none of my predictions have worked out particularly well, so why not just have fun with all of this instead?
Hey, that's just the way it is, man. When you predict, there's nothing guaranteed.
Guys, it's Carter's show. Don't want to infringe, but I want to bring something up. Is there any word on this, or is this just a rumor? What's going on with this from 7 grand? Word is Aaron Judge is broken ribs.
I have not heard that.
I mean, yeah. Hold on, let me just check. Do we?
Remember, he took that hit by pitch right in his chest. Is that what they're talking about? Remember, he took one in the chest. He turned into the ball and it hit him right in the chest during the CS.
Well, he's in there tonight, guys. So. Just thought that was interesting.
I haven't seen nothing on Twitter talking about it.
And have we seen 7 grand over on our show, Giant Sports Talk Live?
I've seen him before.
All right, 7 grand popped in today. Good to see him on Carter's show. Yeah. Anyway, so Eric and I'll be on the air on this channel and on Giant Sports Talk Live in let's see, when are we going live?
About an hour.
Yeah.
We'll do our homework. Get ready to go. We got a little pregame show, and then. Just enjoy some baseball. Halloween Eve.
Yeah, how about that?
Halloween Eve, man.
Only thing I see about broken ribs was back in 2020, man.
Yeah, I haven't heard a thing. Like, if he did break ribs, I can understand maybe why he's playing badly. But even then, before the ALCS, he wasn't playing great either.
No.
And again, that was one series. But it's like,
at DSPS World Series hasn't been all that great.
Carter, did you hear my stat last night?
What's the stat?
Aaron Judge, World Series career, batting .083.
Oh my gosh,
he's an .083 World Series hitter.
Like, I really don't understand how a guy can play this badly. I feel like I'm watching James Harden or Joel Embiid in the NBA playoffs. Just
some people just miss. Some people just can't do it in the postseason. I don't know if it's the added pressure, whatever, but some people are just like that, man. What is up, Kyle?
Before this series started, I said to Eric on our channel, we did the pregame for Game 1. And I said, Eric, it always seems to be each year you see somebody. Now, Freeman is an exception, but it's always when the light is shining brightest. That is when you see some guy step up. Some guy
They
you never heard
rise
of.
to the moment.
Guy who's
They
a
rise to the
100
moment.
hitter bats 400 in the World Series. But
No,
this
no,
is
that's
kind of crazy that it goes on
It's what
and
makes
on and on and
career.
on with Judge. He hasn't broke it out, and every day you go, okay. And I said this the other night, didn't I, Eric? I said, leave him batting where he's at. He should be the cleanup hitter. He'll break out. But my God,
Yeah, I know,
I haven't
man.
seen that breakout, and it's
Now,
quite a surprise.
yesterday was promising.
No,
I'm
it was
hoping
bad.
today it's going to be more. We need to see.
I'll agree with Eric.
Look, Jack Flaherty isn't like a lights out. The Yankees should be able to
they
get
should
him.
do better. I mean, Flaherty isn't a dominant pitcher. He's a good pitcher. I
He's
would
good.
never begrudge
He's
him
good,
that.
but,
but I
I
would
don't think he's
never-
at the level of Cole.
But he doesn't have. He's not a guy who I would pencil in for 200 strikeouts every year. I would be like, oh yeah, he's a good pitcher. He can get people out, strikeouts. He can get people to ground out. But I would never be like, oh yeah, put him in the conversation of like Glasnow or even Yamamoto. Even Yamamoto, who's still a rookie, I would take over a guy like Flaherty any day of the week, if I'm being honest with you. But Freddie
And,
has been fantastic. Nothing but the best from that dude. I mean, Hall of Fame career. He's going to be a legend of the game for a long time.
Someone mentioned it in the chat last night. Yankees need to score first. You can't
They don't
keep
score
getting
first.
these damn Dodgers getting 2 runs like within the first couple of innings. You can't
Yeah.
stop playing from behind. You got to
Get runs on the board.
set the tone or something, man.
Yeah, that's like
That would be nice.
Yankees-
What's up, 49er Media, dude?
Yankees pitching. Yankees pitching has especially their bullpen has actually been pretty great, except for the first game. I mean, Clay Holmes has been a great fireman for them. The Canely, Hill, a bunch of these other guys, they've kept it under their control. They played great. It's the bats. It's the bats. Like
Yeah.
they can't the bats. Like Gleyber Torres has played pretty well, but he has not been doing great either. Soto's been good.
Glaber had a
Stanton-
big game. I mean, he hit that 3-run shot at the end. That was the
They didn't
backbreaker.
get-
which was
If they
nice.
don't get that, they're in trouble.
Holtby, it was nice to see the kid. I mean, this is only his second year, and I like what I'm seeing, what he's doing right now. If the big guys aren't going to do it, somebody has. And the bottom of the lineup was taking care of business
There you
yesterday.
go.
I like what Eddie says. Championships are usually not explosive and exciting. Teams tighten up, try not to make mistakes instead of taking risk. That's sports, and usually. Look at soccer. In the finals, a lot of things will tighten up. That is true.
A lot of guys
That is
just
true.
it's very conservative. They don't want to take risks. I mean, I can see that in a lot of ways. There are exceptions in the last 5 years that I can name, but most of the time, managers, coaches try and not play it too risky because they don't want to lose.
Well, unfortunately, the Yankees have to take some risk for the simple fact you lose, you're going home.
Yeah,
So
they
they're
will.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean,
little bit
one of the things I wanted to take away from yesterday was Anthony Volpe has been I'm a big
Yesterday
proponent-
was a breakout game for him.
Yeah,
Breakout
I'm a
game.
big proponent. I'm a big proponent of the kid. I think he's
The only thing is when where was it? I think was it in Yankee State? Yeah, it was a few games ago, man, where he had the bases loaded and he struck out on us. Like then again, it was a Trinan slider. That thing breaks hard. No, it was in LA. It was in
Yeah.
LA because I remember I said it broke all the way to Riverside and he swung at it. And I was like,
Yeah, I mean,
man,
To be
was
fair,
tough.
it's Trinan,
Yeah,
and
I know.
Trinan is a video. game.
he's
so,
not
but-
easy.
That's what he's like. Trinan is 34, and he's pulling off some of the most disgusting stuff I've ever seen. He's probably going to be 40, and he's going to be doing this, but I don't know. Trinan's got this video game stuff. How do you hit that?
Yeah, it's pretty
So
damn
I'm not
early.
gonna. So, but for Volpe, I like him a lot. I think he can be one of the best. It's just that this year, the regular season in particular, he had a great first half. He peaked, then he kind of slowed down and started declining. Then he plays better, like in the playoffs here. But I genuinely think he can be really good.
Yes. 49er, maybe do you think we will find out who the new Giants GM will be soon as the World Series, since MLB doesn't want teams? But yes, I think yes. I
Yeah.
would not be surprised if within a day or two.
I
that the
mean,
Giants
you know,
announce it.
yeah,
They've had all this time to interview who they have to interview, right?
Yeah.
Now they just got to wait for the World Series to end, and then they can start
yeah,
making some announcements.
yeah. The GM
Then,
meeting.
Carter, it's only a 5-day window until. So
Right.
if the Yankees were to lose tonight, heaven forbid for all us Giants fans, but if it ends tonight, That means Monday, free agency will begin. And here we are sitting with no GM announcement. So I believe, like Eric says, it's going to come fast, and you got to have somebody in place. I don't want to enter free. Here we go again. If we enter free agency Monday, and Eric and I are doing a show Monday night saying, Eric, we don't even have a GM, I think that spells a little problem.
Here's another thing.
It's a horrible look. Yeah.
In 2 weeks, there's 2 meetings that are coming up. In the middle of, I think it's November 11th.
Oh, yeah.
The GM meeting. It's the GM meeting.
So we have like a 5-day window.
So you got the
GM meeting will be absent.
Unless, you know what it could be? Honestly, it's
look.
probably going to be Buster Posey anyways. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. So you got
Buster
someone
would
that could go to it. But then in December is the winter meeting. Now, even though free agency begins 5 days after the World Series, stuff doesn't start moving until December time. That's just the way it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, knowing Buster and how he's worked previously, he's not a guy who's going to half-ass things. I mean,
no,
he's probably got it set. He's got it set probably, and we're going to announce it.
I would be surprised if they already have the person.
Yeah, exactly.
But what do you guys think about now, Boris? I have never seen a client list like Boris has for this off season. Man, there are a lot of great free agents available. So if you're Scott Boris, after the mess, for lack of a better word, he was in last year, Eric, I kind of think you might see some early action. So
maybe
at least a lot of talk, a lot of rumor, a lot of buzz around Major League Baseball in this particular, because we got some great players, not just Juan Soto, who we all hope will be a San Francisco Giant. There are some good pitchers. There are some great pitchers.
Very good pitchers.
There are
Cy Young pitchers.
Trades to come. The team's going to give up trying to re-sign players. So, Eric, although you think it might, kind of ebb a little bit into late November, December, even the new year, I think you're going to get a little bit of action, a little bit of buzz very early.
Yeah.
Given what happened.
Yes.
I would not be surprised if Soto signs in January. I think the big guy, I don't know. Maybe not.
I think he signs in December, Eric.
You think? You think?
Well, I mean, here's the thing about last year.
Maybe.
The Montgomery disaster, the Snell disaster. Like, there have been so many disasters that
all three of them
had because he held out his clients.
Right.
Who was the third one?
Chapman. Chapman signed at the last minute.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's just like there's 3 different players where you're like, oh yeah, we really gotta Boris has got to be thinking to himself, I don't want to lose clients because of this. I mean, 18 people on the market right now. That's a lot of clients.
I tell you what. If the Giants are signing guys before Soto gets signed, that might be a bad sign. That might be a bad sign. Should I say bad sign? Yeah, it's possible that they're not going to be getting.
It's certainly signaling oh yeah, we're not going to be
going after Soto. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I really want to get that dude.
All right, Carter. Hey, I'll let you get going, man. This is your show. We're going to be Glenn and I are going to be doing ours here in about an hour or so, and then we'll be back on later tonight to talk more about this kind of stuff. So have a good rest of your show there, Carter.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Glenn. See you in an hour, man.
See you in an hour, buddy. All right, same for me, Carter. Same for me, buddy. I'm out of here. Just thanks for letting us drop in uninvited. So we appreciate that. I just wanted to say hi. I got a bit of an energy boost today. I took my B12 and I'm ready for baseball tonight. And even though I really don't have skin in the game either, I'm not betting on the games. I'm just sitting back and watching. I'm just trying to enjoy the Fall Classic and make the best of it until we pick things up in the off season. I'm really looking forward to getting back from Giants Schmuck Talk Live back over to Giants Sports Talk Live. We got the playoff edition now, but I want to talk more Giants baseball into the off season. Could be any day now. So we'll see what happens tonight, buddy.
All right. You have a good one, Glenn. I'll see you later. Okay?
Hey, guys. Thanks for dropping by Carter's chat. He appreciates that. So do we.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I would highly recommend you guys go see Eric and Glenn in 50 minutes, something like that. They'll be over there, just talking about obviously the pregame for the World Series. It's like he said, try and enjoy the Fall Classic. These things are some of the most important events in baseball. Enjoy yourselves, have fun with it because, I'm not, but just it's going to be fun. Enjoy this because free agency, we're going to have the GM announcement almost inevitably, I mean, it doesn't really make much sense that Buster would be like, oh yeah, let's just go into this thing without a GM. I mean, you gotta trust them. But what kind of commission does Boras make on his players? I mean, I think it depends on a person-to-person basis. I'm pretty sure it's a contract that they work out with Boras, where Boras will be like, okay, I want like a 10% commission or like a 5% commission or something like that. That's usually how a lot of agents work. It's different from like lawyers where you're being paid like a significant amount of money an hour. So I'm thinking like, I believe this is how it works. Again, I could be completely wrong. So do not take my word as anything other than I think, but I'm pretty sure he negotiates with his clients and says, hey, like, can you give me like, I don't know, like a 5% commission, 10% commission, other ones it might be like a 15%, but yeah, it's like, I think this is going to be a fun off season. We need this. We need them to sign guys before Soto because it shows we want to win. No, I get that. I mean, yeah, I can get what you mean for Niner media. I mean, it's like you want to sign people to like signal to Soto, like, hey, like we're going to bring all these guys on to be with you in this situation. I definitely get that. It's just, I would recommend, I want to get Soto and then surround him with people then. But I get it. I do get what you mean. It's definitely a smart decision, but you got to be careful though, because I am worried what Eric says will come true. And it'll be like, oh yeah, like we have all these guys that just come in, like we have them come in, but then but because we signed all these people to contracts, we don't have enough money, or we aren't willing to negotiate a higher price with Soto. Because with Soto, I said this multiple times, I think it's going to be $650 million a year, 10 years. That's what I think. I don't know if this is going to be the case, but I definitely think it's possible. I mean, it's like William said, it's 18 clients. Obviously, Boras is going to have his hands full, but I think it's pretty clear Soto is going to be like that client where it's like, we got to focus. Hot take prediction. We do a trade with the Cubs, obtain Bellinger for pennies on the dollar. Cubs trade him so they can have more money to sign Pete Alonso. Thoughts on Cody B? Cody B, he's a good player, but he's not at the level where he used to be, where he could be a guy where you have where you can surround a nucleus of players around him. And also, like 49er media said, he has an opt-out and he basically can do whatever the heck he wants this offseason. The problem with Cody Bellinger is that guys like, what's his name? Boras and him think that he's worth more than a lot of people actually know he is. I think with Cody Bellinger, he's your second or third best player. He's not your best player. He's certainly a guy where I would be like, oh yeah, let's go get him if we can get him. But I would not be paying him upwards of like, I don't know, like hundreds of millions of dollars. I would be inclined to say, oh yeah, let's give him like a solid contract. Like maybe 4 years, upwards of like 150. But I would not be like he's not a superstar. Like a lot of people, like especially like Boras clients, like people who are looking to sign a guy like Bellinger think he might be and be able to maintain or like go back to that form that he had once. But hold on. Cody Bellinger. He was an MVP. The last time he was an all-star was 2019. Obviously, he was an MVP candidate and a Silver Slugger last year, but he was okay. He was merely okay. And this year, he's taken a massive step back. He went from, just looking at his numbers, he went from hitting 300 to hitting 266. He went from being 356 OBP to 325. His slugging went from 525 to 426. His OPS is 751 instead of 881. Again, he's not a bad player. He's still young, of course, and I do think he's a solid player, but I would be more inclined to go get somebody else for money. I mean, he's a great player. And yes, he's like, how old? 28, 29. He's 29 though. He's like, like I'm looking at the numbers that he's had for his career. The last time he was like truly in consideration for an MVP was when he won it in 2019. And that was like a very, very long time ago. And I think he's really good, but it's just, yeah. By the way, there have been rumors the Twins would be willing to trade Buxton. Byron Buxton. I mean, Byron's a good player. The problem is durability. That would be the biggest issue for me about going to get a guy like Buxton. And also, Buxton's a great player, but where would we put him necessarily? I mean, we could move him to like a less dangerous spot and less taxing spot like first base or DH him, but he can steal bags. And he's a guy who's athletic. I mean, I wouldn't want to take him out of center field, especially since we have Jung Hoo Lee there. I mean, he would be a guy that I would like a lot, but he's very oft injured. He can have issues hitting the training room. I mean, I would be inclined to go get him, but it would just be a thing like, is he going to play first base maybe? No, but no, you don't want to play in first base because we're going to have Eldridge there eventually, like 49er media like aptly points out. So we're trying to find a Band-Aid for the first base hole. I mean, Rhys Hoskins, if I'm also not mistaken, hold on, let me check his contract as well. Rhys Hoskins. I mean, he'll be a free agent as well. I mean, I really just don't want to especially if Eldridge can come up within the next few months. Like if he can come in with the next few months of the season, yeah, Rhys has an opt-out, but likely want. I mean, yeah. Thoughts on Bichette versus Adames? I like Adames way better. Listen, Adames is a really, really good player, and I think he's really great. But the problem with us and Adames particularly is that we have to pay him a lot of money to come here. And I do like the notion of bringing Willy Adames to San Francisco. The problem is, again, the money. And if we were going to go get Bo Bichette, he's going to be gone from Toronto in 2026 anyway. So we could say to them, okay, listen, he's had a really bad year. He hasn't been playing great. I would rather try and go get Bichette because we could get him cheaper. And he's a great player and a top player when he's on his form. The problem is he's oft injured. And the problem for the Blue Jays is that he's injured a lot. Sorry, I got a text. Give me a second. Terribly sorry. Sorry, y'all. I got something coming in. My bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got to outbid the Dodgers for Adames. Yeah, that's just a really tough sell. I think that like Adames, he's a guy who's going to command a premium contract, and shortstop is a massive position of need. But again, like if we were going to go get Bichette, it would be much more feasible because again, Bichette, when he's on his form, is great. We just would have to find opportunity for him because again, like we would have to give the Blue Jays a couple prospects, but we wouldn't have to give up top prospects because again, it's going to be gone in a few years. Why would we give him long-term guys for like short-term stuff? Giants need someone else to go after than Soto. How about Julio? Okay, listen. The Mariners are really dumb, okay? The Mariners make a lot of mistakes, but they're not going to let go of Julio Rodriguez. Julio Rodriguez is a guy you build around. He's one of the best players in baseball, and when he's on his form, he can be great. The problem is that Julio Rodriguez is very tough to swing because who would we give up? Eldridge, that's not going to happen because Eldridge is a guy that we can look at and say, oh, yeah, he's the future of the team. And I get it. Julio could be that way too. But then again, where will we play Julio Rodriguez? Will we play him left center field again? Or will we play him in a different spot, right field? He's a good player. Again, never going to begrudge him for being a bad player, but we don't have the capital necessarily to make the Mariners think, you know what, let's go get him. I mean, that's a very random one, but he would be a great addition, but I do not think that's possible. I would not want Hoskins even since last offseason, and that play he got hurt on is a good sign of me. I need to stay away from him. I mean, Rhys Hoskins is a great player. I like Rhys Hoskins. It's just I'm worried about what could happen if we get a logjam at first base, because Eldridge might light it up in spring training or light it up in AAA or have like an incredible this or that situation. And if we get in that spot where it's like, oh yeah, we have to move somebody in order to put Eldridge in there, then that can be a problem, because it's like, oh shoot, like, what do we do? I would recommend personally that again, it's a crappy situation, but I recommend we just platoon first base until Eldridge is ready, or we have like a sizable solution there. That's just my opinion. I want to go after hitters, but a pitching course should be the focus to counter Dodger lineup. I guarantee that Buster is going to be thinking about that. Snell, Corbin Burns, Max Fried, a dozen or so other pitchers, maybe even an injury guy like Shane Bieber. I mean, there's a lot of people that we could go after on the market, and I would be totally inclined to do it. I mean, pitching is very important. Mariners wouldn't need Eldridge. They have a top first baseman prospect. I hate that people keep saying that we need to trade Eldridge in every deal. The Padres don't trade Salas in any deals. I mean, I'm not saying that Eldridge is definitely going to be traded if we were going to go do something like that. I'm saying that with the notion of getting Julio Rodriguez, I don't think we have enough prospect capital to the point where they'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to give up Julio Rodriguez. Besides, Julio Rodriguez is one of the best players in baseball when he's good. And let me just check something. I'm just going to check his contract information, because I'm pretty sure he's being paid 7 years, $119 million with a player option later in his career. He's a free agent in 2030 if he wants. And yes, he's a great player, but it's just such a risky one. Who else besides Soto and Julio? I mean, again, they're not going to go Julio Rodriguez. Listen, I know that the Mariners are an absolute mess and they're not great as a team, but they're not going to let go of Julio Rodriguez. Julio Rodriguez is a guy you build your franchise around. I mean, as long as the Mariners have Julio Rodriguez, they're going to be fine in terms of like being competitive. I just hope that the Mariners don't get stuck in this eternal hell that they seem to have, where they just massively underachieve. That's, again, you guys can check out my rant about that like a few days ago, about ranting just about the Mariners and how bad they are, but they won't trade Julio Rodriguez. In my opinion, the thing that we would need to do, we have to go get Juan Soto. I mean, again, I say this, we've said this for the last few months. I've been a big proponent. I mean, hashtag absorb Rendon's contract. I'm sorry, but like Logan, like Rendon, I don't like Anthony Rendon at all. I'm sorry. Yes, we could DH him and just have him do whatever, but I just don't like the guy. He doesn't care about baseball, and I don't want someone like that playing on the team. Hell no. I would trade Webb and Camilo for Julio. I mean, they won't do that. Listen, I know Logan Webb is a great pitcher, but he's not like a guy that we would be. Mariners need pitching. George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, Brian Wu. They have like 4 high-end starters. I do not think that they need a pitcher. They're in perfectly good shape. Giants need to make up for a big splash, though. We need to trade all prospects besides Eldridge. Listen, in my opinion, I am in agreement there. If we are going to be given a really good player, like if we're going to go get a really good player, and it's like, oh yeah, we need to trade for him, I think other than Bryce Eldridge, like anybody's on the table. Even a guy like Wisenhunt, who's really good, but I would be more inclined to go like, go pick up somebody else. Like, again, it's just it's a tough situation, because I don't necessarily want to trade prospects all the time, but let's keep it real. Like, not a lot of our prospects are even the best. We have good prospects, but not great prospects. I mean, again, Eldridge is like the only guy who I would say nobody touches him. If that won't even be a conversation. If someone says, okay, we want Bryce Eldridge in a trade, no, that's not happening. We have a surplus of young pitching prospects. We need to go top trade some of these chips for bats. Yes. Bats. Bats. I need bats. That's one thing I would say. I mean, come on. Okay, Carter, how about we aboard Kevin Gausman's contract? Listen, okay, Kevin Gausman's contract, I'd be more inclined because I think Kevin Gausman is still a good prospect. Or he's not a prospect. He's still a good player. But yeah. Eldridge is the only prospect we could get anything for. I don't think that's true. I mean, I look at the prospects on this Tibbs, Wisenhunt, Walker Martin, Mason Black, Crawford, a bunch of other decent players. I mean, these aren't like world-class players, but I don't think Eldridge is the only one. Wisenhunt is a guy that I would definitely think people would be interested in. Many articles of Mariners trading those top pitchers for hitters, though. They are cutting payroll again, which means they will be interesting to trade with. I think that's true. Pitchers. They maybe a guy like Castillo, since Gilbert, Wu, and a couple of these other guys are on like rookie contracts. I think they'll be good there. But yeah, if we can't sign a shortstop, would you be opposed and try and sign Breggy and put him at short? Huh. I mean, I think Breggy has played well at shortstop before. He's a Gold Glove guy. I mean, if we could try and swing something like that, that would be cool. But honestly, I think the Astros are going to do everything they can to retain him. I do like that idea, though. I think that's definitely worthy of merit. I like that. Harrison? Hey, again, it's nothing's off the table. I mean, I definitely think Harrison would get us some good players. I think the Padres or Angels will get Soto over the Giants. The Angels? No, I don't think so. The Angels, in my opinion, are the biggest mess in baseball, and I don't think any agent wants to do business with a guy like Artie Moreno. Artie Moreno has been known to destroy players and treat them like crap, and the Angels, and he doesn't spend as much money as people think. He's a really big, like he will spend money. The problem is he's locked into the Rendon contract and the Trout contract, and he's afraid of going over the luxury tax. So I don't think so. Technically, we can trade Ramos or Fitz. I would trade a Hiram to get Luis Robert or Buxton or Vlad. I don't think so. Listen, Ramos just had an all-star year, and I think that he's going to keep up his production. I trust him to keep playing the way he has. Again, I don't think this is going to be a year where we contend immediately. I think this is going to be a year where we're just trying to see if we can get a core put together, in my opinion. Blue Jay will be in on Soto. Yeah, they will. But I don't think it's sort of similar to the Angels situation that I talk about. I don't think that Soto, I think any team is going to pay for Soto. But I talked about this. Like, Soto's not just going to be considering money. He's also going to be considering the team he's going to. Does he really want to play for a team that's known for screwing around with pitching? Did anyone remember that Jose Barrios for Kikuchi thing? I mean, that was horrible. Yes, totally see the Angels going after Soto. Giants will have no plan B. Again, the Angels are not a team that is really a good team to go for. Listen, agents don't want to work with Artie Moreno because he won't go over the luxury tax. He's not willing to mess around with deferments and other things like that. He's not going to do certain things. He's just not an owner that's equatable to winning. I mean, you look at what happened to Trout and Rendon. I mean, no one wants to work with Artie Moreno. I'm sorry, but I just do not see a guy like Artie Moreno and the Angels going out and spending money. They're just not a team that I would look at and seeing doing anything. It's going to be SF, Toronto, and the Mets for Soto. Everything else is propaganda. I don't know about that. Listen, I think that the Mets and the Giants are the biggest looks. The Yankees, here's the problem with the Yankees. The Yankees are cutting payroll. Again, Hal Steinbrenner is a bottom line guy. He's not a guy that says strong articles coming from Anaheim saying the opposite. Listen, Anaheim, though, they're supporting their guys. I mean, listen, they can say it's very possible, but again, Artie Moreno is a skinflint guy. He's both an over manager and a neglectful person. If anyone knows the Tyler Skaggs situation, I just do not think that Artie Moreno is going to spend money to a point where they're going to get him. And Loki on Juan Soto gives me Rendon vibes, like he cares more about the money. I don't think so. I think he genuinely likes playing baseball. I mean, would a guy like be doing that Soto shuffling stuff if he really wasn't like enjoying the game? I mean, I just feel like Soto enjoys himself out there. He will obviously it's about money. This is a money-making business, but I don't think he's going to be a guy where it's like, oh yeah, like it has to be money or nothing else. I mean, he's looking at a pitch, in my opinion. It's really about who's going to pitch him the best. And I get the whole Angels notion. Soto has said before he wants the money. Listen, I get it. I do get it. But it's not just about the money. Because one thing I've noticed about Soto from the minute he came up his rookie year and everything else, he's been looking for an opportunity to like build something. And looking at the opportunity he has here in SF, it's totally possible to do that. I mean, again, I get that there are other teams like the Angels, the Blue Jays, the Mets who might want to get him, but only 2 of those teams are truly competitive. That's the thing. Giants need to outbid everyone by a major amount. Yeah. I say put a check on the table for Soto that is $650 million and say, this is for you if you want to come play for the Giants. Freeman also went after the money. No, he did, but that's because the Braves didn't offer him that much. I think he would have stayed in Atlanta if they had given him a significant amount more, but he was trying to make sure his family was in good shape, in my opinion. But yeah. Sorry, I have some text coming in right now. I don't think 650 will be enough. Hold on. Give me a second. Sorry. Sorry about that. But anyway, like 650, that's the baseline, in my opinion. I think that he is going to be paid a lot of money. I think that's a lot of money. Braves let Freeman walk after the World Series. That's baseball business. I mean, yeah, I think that it's just such a bloodthirsty business, in my opinion, because even like the most loved players on certain teams will go to different teams that you don't even recognize them in that uniform. But yeah. But yeah. 700 million taxes are high in Cali. I mean, yeah, they are definitely high. But honestly, we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. All right. I mean, but you know what? I got to say this to everybody here because I got to go right now. I have something to do, but I say this to everybody here. At least we can talk about this now. Like, we can actually say to each other, you know what? Like, yeah, we can at least say to each other, like, and by the way, this is hilarious, but yeah, maybe we can get Chat Molman to convince M. Olsen. I don't think Olsen's going to go. I think he's in a great position in Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta is perfect, but I'm going to say this because I do have to go. I have something to do, okay? But I'm going to say this right now. At least I can talk to you guys and say maybe, but at least I can talk to everybody here and say like, oh yeah, we might be able to get these players, you know? It's like, at least I can say to all of you guys, like, oh, like, you know, like I can say to everybody here, we actually might be able to get Bichette, Adames, Soto. I can talk to you guys about trades. I can talk to you guys about Vladdy, Bichette, and all these other people. I can say this to you guys because Farhan Zaidi's finally gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can finally talk to you guys on this show and say, we can do it again. We can finally get out of this. Like, it feels good, y'all. It feels good, but hey, like, go watch Eric and Glenn on the pregame show. Maybe I'll be on the postgame show with them, but it's good talking to you guys. It's good having so much fun, just being around you guys, talking about everything. But hey, listen, y'all, it's good. Thank you guys for showing up. Babe, Garlic, Ed, Markatna, everybody, 49er Media, Wasteland Studios, like everybody alive. Like, just thank you guys for showing up, talking to me, like listening to my opinion, even though I make terrible postseason predictions. Thank you guys. And as always, see it.
You've been watching the Northern California Sports and Entertainment Network, a Northern Lights Entertainment broadcasting station.